Alright, so I need to say this from the get-go. I like the Harry Potter franchise. I'm not the biggest fan, but I am somewhat biased towards it a bit. Some people still haven't bought the game yet, which means that you guys want to know if it's really worth it or not. Maybe you're saving up some money, maybe this, maybe that. I don't care, honestly.
You fucking bitch.
I have some footage of the early to early middle of the game, we could say, with no spoilers. You're safe. So to start off, the whole vibe is really Harry Potter's feel. Obviously. It legit puts you in the life of a young wizard. Very successfully. You enter Hogwarts and it's great. Literally so well made, I can immediately see the effort put into recreating the school.
Okay.
The castle is lively and beautiful. The moving staircase, live paintings, keys flying around, butterflies, literally everything in the castle is great. And even if everything isn't some challenge, it still has some cool stuff like the case of the Goblet of Fire or the bathhouse from the story. There are so many hidden passages, and kind of like in God of War, where you see what's possible to open, go through, or interact with somehow, but you can only do it later with like some new spell or some new power. Kind of Metroidvania-ish, I think. I'm not too sure with the terms, but I think that's what it is. But all of this means that you keep roaming around the school and always have something original to do with success that feels even more rewarding since you failed before when you still didn't have the capabilities to, I don't know, unlock the door or whatever, open a painting or whatever. The school is huge. And so is the map. Like, look at this. I don't know how they created this, but I'm assuming they based themselves off of the lore from the books and all to create these. I've explored some places around the school and around Hogsmeade, but I still have some more to do. I'm assuming that it's all going to be just as great as what I've seen until now. I'll talk about that in a future video when I'm, done with the story and all. I said I'm assuming for the unexplored part of the map that it's gonna be good. But I am not assuming for Hogwarts. I know. That shit will make you spam Revelio like there's no tomorrow. You'll break your finger, bruh. That school, as I mentioned, has an unbelievable amount of detail, guys. No bias. But just for that, it's literally worth it. Or at least to watch some videos on YouTube if you're not willing to invest in the game just yet. Like there's this one moment where you see a painting and if you look at it, you turn into stone. And as you know, the exploration is not only restricted in Hogwarts, but all around it too, and just in the overall map. You can like hit animals. Or sometimes hit them just to save them from poachers, you know?
Well, anyway, let me say you're welcome for the wonderful world you know.
But I truly think that if the scale of the map is like 100%, only Hogwarts itself has like another 50% packed all into it. Like if you were to spread open Hogwarts' cheeks, it would open up at least another half of the size of the entire game's map. They did all this and added the room of requirements that I won't really show you, but you can customize your space that's not in your schoolhouse, grow plants, plant seeds, whatever it is. You can do a lot of stuff, and when I say you can customize the room, I mean you can customize literally everything in the room. Almost everything. But you'll see. I'll let you get to that. No Quidditch. So I told you guys that I wasn't gonna go full fanboy. So here it is. The shit under the toilet. The annoying seeds in the fruit. The stink of the socks. The bad parts. Now, this game for me until now is very good, but it has issues. For one, inventory space sucks big. You can upgrade it by doing Merlin trials, but you don't know that at first. and you don't even have a flying method or anything, so you're too slow anyways. And since the game clutters you with new gear, which is the only way to increase offensive, defensive, and health stats, you get a full gear slot message when you try to loot a chest pretty early on in the game. The game also doesn't let you know what is in the chest that you are trying to loot. So the only two options are for you to either destroy what you have and earn no material or money for it, or to fast travel to Hogsmeade and sell your items, fast travel back to where you were, just to then loot and see that what you get from the chest is shit. Low stat garbage that also looks like dog. Ooh, okay, calm down, kidnuts. Calm down, relax. Speaking of Merlin, this one isn't as huge of an issue, but in my opinion, there's too many challenges. Like, you need to do Merlin trials to upgrade your inventory slot amount, and there are some challenges that you don't necessarily need to do. But almost anything you end up doing unlocks more of the same. Almost everything. As I said though, it's not really a bad thing. Like, it's okay, a lot of people like it. I just don't really like it, but it was just something I noticed. It doesn't count really in the bad. But what really annoyed me is, for a game that recreated this lore so amazingly, the NPCs are legit NPCs. There's this kid Sebastian. After him being caught for something involving me, we finished the quest and he just
unfazed.
Like, no reaction or movement or anything. Imagine if you were to talk to me right after we went through something and I'm here like this. Games are too advanced at this point. They're supposed to be able to do this stuff. And the thing is, it happened again in another quest after something happened. It's not always like that with every NPC all the time.
I haven't heard any nasty comments lately. I haven't been called Puffskein Dunk since you brought me that venomous tentacular leaf. I think I am actually brave.
I also don't love the movement. In combat, it's great. I'll get to that soon. But free roam, it's a bit God of War-y in that there's some invisible walls, which I generally don't mind in a linear or semi-open world games. But this game lets you jump at will, stationary, unlike Kratos, for example. But you can't jump over these, or can't aim easily at these, or you just get stuck here. And since the movement is heavy and a bit janky, and the camera is too close, I feel kinda stuck and not really free. It also doesn't help that I can't change my field of view on the PS5, but flying feels great. Overall, it's really fun. Some technical issues could happen, let's say visually. There are some light and volume glitches that happened more than once, at least for me. Like, going up from the botany class more than once, like every time, the light just pops in weirdly. And lastly, and I promise I don't hate the game, these are just some remarks that I naturally had while playing. The heaviness and slowness carries on the menu. Way too animated and slow. Changing from any slot to map adds like a whole 3 seconds to everything, and whenever your cursor goes through any image, it slows down because of the load, I guess. I don't know, it's not a big deal. Maybe, like, I know on PC it's not that big of an issue. Again, it's not a big deal. It is just something I noticed and I wanted to give it to you guys straight. Cold turkey facts. Now back to good fighting. I love it. It feels like Spider-Man, Batman type of combat, with the senses, flow, and parrying with a counterattack. The dodge that upgrades into a dash if you want later. The shield that turns into stupefy right after, like, if you hold the button. The spells look beautiful. They're also fun to use and get good at. You start leveling up and can make them be more useful, like Incendio now does AoE around you when at first it was only in front of you. I don't want to spoil the stuff you will get, but overall the combat is something I always look forward to while free roaming. You also have this ancient magic meter that fills up and you do some crazy ultimate move that does devastating damage, which is so nice. Overall, combat, very good. The difficulty is a bit weird, but I'd say that comes more from you getting used to the controls and less the game being hard. It's not as difficult as like Elden Ring or any of the Souls games that I reviewed last video, except for that time when I got super mega sonic clapped by some fucking spiders. But no game is, to my knowledge. Relax. Honestly, the difficulty is pretty good. It's a fun game. I'm not looking at this as a big challenge game. I'm not sweating, you know, I'm more enjoying the game in a relaxed way and not in a high adrenaline fighting way. So overall, very nice and easy flow in the difficulty for me until now. So with all this said, Hogwarts Legacy is great. This is a first impression short review with legit critical and non-fanboy thoughts. But me being a fan also gives the game some extra points. Overall, based on the early to early middle of the game, I rated a solid 8.5 on 10 with exploration, things to find, secret passages, combat, overall magic, and story. If this wasn't related to Harry Potter at all, it would probably be a 7.5 just because of the little complaints I have. Expect another video on this game once I'm like done with it. I'll go a bit more deep into the details, but for now I am taking my time, really taking it all in with the world and characters and things to do. If you're like me, this video, you know, like, comment, share with a friend, and yeah, let me know what you think. And on that note, Kennuts out.